Hey, what's up guys? Tony here. I'm here today to talk to you about a kayak that you probably didn't know you needed. Check this out. There she is. Just kidding. It's right there. The Sea Eagle 385 FT Angler. Probably a boat you've never heard of. I hadn't heard about it either. Alright, so let me fill you guys in. I've fished out of this boat probably for around 6 months, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. And I have to say I'm really impressed. We're going to cover different aspects of this boat. It is an inflatable, and as most people think, kayak, inflatable, not good quality, not going to last, just plain out scary like I've thought before. So I haven't had the best experience with inflatables, but usually it was because I purchased a really inexpensive one, and as soon as I aired it up and put it on the water, it would deflate just because of the pressure change, because of the water temperature. But I haven't had that experience with this boat, and it's because it's well made. First, let's just go over some of the specifications for the 385 FTA. They call it a 3-person capacity boat, which I guess you could put 3 people in it, maybe 3 kids. 3 adults would be pretty cramped, so I would keep it at 2. The whole weight is where this boat shines. It's only 45 pounds. That's nothing. So you can load this, you can car top this very easily, and 45 pounds is about the lightest boat you're going to be able to get in a 12-foot 6-inch length. So it's 12 foot 6 inches long, it's 3 feet wide. The interior space is 11 foot 7 inches by 18. It'll hold 635 pounds. Deflated, and its stored size is 36 by 15 by 20. Very, very easy to transport. This kayak has 4 ports, and I'll go over those later when we actually take a look at the boat itself. The tube diameter, that's talking about the pontoons on each side, are 9.5 inches. It has 4 air valves, and then they're high quality air valves. Inflation time is 7 minutes. All the seams are electronically welded and quadruple overlap seams. The material is reinforced 1000 denier. You can put an outboard motor on it of 34 pound thrust, which is pretty cool. The floor is removable and it's suitable up to class 2 rapids. And this inflation pressure, 3.2, it'll actually hold a little more than that, but we'll go over that again later. Let's start here at the bow of the boat. Sea Eagle has put a foam insert into the bow here. So if you bump into something, this is very, very rigid. And there's no air in this section. It's only a hard, it's almost like a cone. You got a nice grab handle here. As you can see, they've spared no expense on layering where you need the most support right here. So let's go down. As you can see, it's really dirty. You got bungee here, you can put a paddle, whatever gear, doesn't matter. You guys know what that is. Since this is the Angler series, you get these cutouts. This is also a splash guard. You get these little holes here on the edge for hanging lures. I've never used it for that. It's just a mental block for me to hang a bunch of hooks on the front of an inflatable kayak. I guess you could put knives here, pliers, whatever. And these 2 holes here are for 2 rods. The butts of the rods go in these little cylinders here. Put your rod down in there. And what I usually do once I put a rod in, I'd use the bungee to go over the handle to lock it in place really sturdy. So it's not going anywhere. There's 4 chambers to this boat. There's a floor, and there's these 2 sides. There's a keel on the bottom. I'll lift it up here. There's an inflatable keel. It takes 1 pump to air it up, that's it. On both the front and the back of this keel are rigid cones. So there's no air in this, this is solid. So there's no issues with running this boat right up on a concrete ramp or on the bank or anything. I've ran this boat several times up on a boat ramp, and as you can see, it doesn't even hardly look scratched. And it's because this boat has such a shallow draft, but I'll get into that more later when we talk about how it paddles. Yeah, 4 chambers, that keel, the floor, and these 9.5-inch side pontoons. This floor is a drop stitch floor, which basically means the top layer is connected to the bottom layer via vertical walls. So it makes it really, really rigid. I mean, this is a hard floor. I can actually stand up in this kayak, but I'll talk again more about that later. D-ring loops along each side of the pontoon. Has 2 grab handles here in the center. I've put a little anchor trolley on mine. Toward the back, you have 2 ports that unscrew to drain water. Just open it up. You don't open these while on the water, only off the water, just to drain. So what you have, the pontoons are connected to each other via the bottom of this boat. So this whole center floor piece is removable. But what that does for the bottom is you got 2 layers of protection here. So you got this bottom layer that's again connected to these pontoons, and then you have the floor that drops in between. On the stern, basically you see a replica of the front, 2 more rod holders, bungee, grab handle, and a hard cone. And on the bottom, you do get a removable skeg. Also on this pontoon, you get a fish ruler all the way up to 36 inches. And that's about it for just going over the basics. I really like this color of the boat. Since I am filming indoors, it may be coming out kind of yellowish, but this is like a OD green, and it kind of has this gator skin pattern. This is a 2017 model. There was some confusion with Sea Eagle and I because I thought they were sending me a 2018 where this part right here was going to be made out of a newer material. You'll see this material here on the floor and on the other side of the pontoon. So now real quick, I'm going to talk about how this boat fishes. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. This is the most comfortable boat I've ever fished out of. And this is why. Everything on the boat is soft. It's quiet. You can hang your legs over the sides of the pontoons. You can lay in the bottom of it. It's just so versatile. Sea Eagle sent me 2 chairs with this boat. I'm going to show you a little bit about those. So this is just one of the chairs offered by Sea Eagle. And it's inflatable too. In just a few minutes I'll show you the different types of pumps that you can use to inflate your kayak. But I found that as far as this chair goes, you can do it with a couple of breaths. So each part of the chair, the backrest and the seat, has 1 valve like this. You just simply screw in your valve. And there's 2 parts to it. Unscrew this section, and there's a 1-way valve inside that port. Just give it a couple of breaths. Let's see how many it takes. There's 1, 2. That part's done. Let's see how many for the backrest part. There's 1, 2, 3 pretty big breaths, but still not bad. And there you go. There's your seat. Let's go put it on the boat. Now again, the boat has all these little D-ring attachments, so you can literally place this seat anywhere you want in the boat. The seat has little swiveling clips on each side. You can clip it here, or if you want, you can clip it to the bottom of this seat, and then you can have the freedom to move your seat anywhere. So you can literally, I've paddled this kayak in the very front, like that. It was stable. I've paddled it with it in the rear, but normally I paddle right behind center because normally I have a kayak crate with a bunch of rods right there. Now I have 2 of these type seats, so me and my wife plenty of times have went out where she puts her seat up here. We can both face the same direction, or we can face each other for a more social experience, and you still have plenty of room in the middle. And I'm 6'3", she's 5'1". Again, 2 people I think is the max to be comfortable in this 12-foot boat. I really do like this seat. They've made it very ergonomic for paddling. It's thin up here, so your shoulder blades and shoulders, you got plenty of room for a natural movement. I do, however, wish they would have made the bottom of the chair out of a different, more water-resistant material, just because if you do paddle and you get water in the bottom of the boat, there are no scuppers. Not that there's ever water settling right here, but this does get wet, and sometimes I've noticed it seeps all the way up through and you may sit on a wet seat. But that could be fixed easily with just a plastic bag, but that's something I did notice. If you're gonna be doing 2 people in this boat all the time, Sea Eagle does offer another seat that is not inflatable, that's very thin, which gives you more room in the boat, so you might wanna check that out. All right, let's pull out some goodies here. When you purchase the boat, Sea Eagle will send you a paddle. I've used it. I mean, I have better paddles that I use, but this paddle isn't bad. It breaks down really small. It's a 4-piece. So if you're transporting this in a car, you know, that does have its advantages of breaking down into a little bit shorter sections, and it works well with the boat. This is the Bravo 4 Alu Red. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but anyway, it's a two-way pump. So when you put your feet on it and you're pumping up the boat, you're pumping going up and you're pumping going down. So you're not getting a wasted stroke. It has a built-in pressure gauge, and all you have to do is remove this side, plug it in on this side, and that's how you deflate it. So it's a deflate, inflate. So you do it all with this one pump. It's very lightweight. Sea Eagle does, however, offer battery-powered pumps. If you're not traveling all the time, it's okay to leave this boat inflated. I leave mine inflated all the time in the garage. When you order your Sea Eagle boat, there's different packages you can choose from. Depends on if you're wanting to add a trolling motor to your boat, if you're wanting to add a swivel chair to your boat, if you're wanting to mount fish finders and different electronics to your boat. They make aluminum panels. I have one and I have the swivel chair. I'll go grab it and I'll show you that. Well, my wife's gonna kill me. I'm making a mess in here. This guy right here, this is one of the options that you can choose when purchasing a Sea Eagle boat. This is a swivel seat. So you assemble it when you get it. It's very easy. Take that seat out real quick. It's basically just two aluminum crossbars, and you connect them via this wider piece of aluminum, and you can see it's all wing nuts and hand knobs, so very easy to go together. So how this works is this seat basically just lays right across the top of the pontoons there. You can put it in the back, you can put it in the center, and it's held in place by the straps that Sea Eagle sends you. They go through the loops and they wrap around these legs. You have a swivel chair, and it also comes with two Scotty rod holders right on the side of you. So that's how it looks. It makes it really, really easy going to a standing position with this seat, and you don't lose stability. Again, with this boat being 3 feet wide, it's very stable. You can sit in the bottom of the kayak, you can sit with the inflatable chair, or you can opt for the swivel seat with rod holders. All of them serve a purpose, all of them are good and work great. For those of you that don't want to paddle, you can order this piece here, which is just it's like it's about 8 inches wide. It's really light, it's a piece of aluminum, and you can mount different things to it. You can put more rod holders on here. You can even put a trolling motor on here. It comes with this trolling motor bracket, screws directly on there, and then you have a place to put your transom mount trolling motor. Really cool. I've done that several times, and let me tell you, with a 45-pound boat, even a 24-pound thrust motor, this thing will boogie. I want to talk about how this boat paddles. Does it paddle as well as a rigid kayak? Almost. There's a little bit of yaw when you're paddling, but not much. That inflatable keel on the front and the skeg on the back really does a good job of keeping the boat steady. And because it's so light and the draft is so low, this boat really moves. I've caught some really, really big fish out of this boat because, again, going back to everything being soft touch, not only does it make it comfortable, it makes it quiet. So you can really sneak up into some shallow places and get in on those bigger fish. Now, I'm a freshwater fisherman, but I've also had this boat out in the bay just a couple of times, but I didn't film it. I'm still working on a way to mount my GoPro. So once I do that, I will be taking this boat out, showing y'all how I fish on it and how it operates and stuff. The boat is very, very, very quiet, and it is very comfortable, and it is very lightweight. It's very durable. So if some of you guys are fishing the bays, yeah, could you go through oyster reefs? Yeah, you could. Now, you have to be mindful, and is it gonna take the abuse that a normal plastic rigid boat would take? No, it's not. But I can tell you, I've ran into docks, I've ran into thorn bushes on the lake, I've ran over rebar, I've hit trees, I've done pretty much everything you can do, and there's been zero issues with the boat itself. Sea Eagle put that extra padding around the pontoons where you're gonna be doing the most bumping into stuff and, you know, picking up your fish, or maybe your lure or something hits the side of the kayak. I'm a bass fisherman, so if I'm throwing a crankbait or something, I hook a big bass, yeah, I do my best to try to keep the fish away from the boat. But I have had fish run up underneath the boat with a crankbait, dragging the bottom. And like I said, this stuff is 1,000 denier, it's tough, it's not some cheap inflatable that's, you know, you got to worry about, oh gosh, if I run over a rock, am I going to sink? No, I've actually fished a tournament out of this boat. So that's a testament to my confidence in this boat. It's a really great rig. Sea Eagle really put some quality valves on this boat. Let me show them to you. Here's the valve. Again, we have 4 of them. One on this pontoon, one on the other, one for the floor, and one up front for that inflatable keel on the bottom. You have a little protector over the top of your valve. Here's your valve. So you're not ever gonna accidentally hit something and lose your air through the valve. I mean, that's not going anywhere. It's solid. There's a little spring-loaded valve here. So if I push on it, you're gonna hear air come out. See? Now if I were to push this all the way in and turn it clockwise, it'll lock in place, and this will completely deflate. The floor is the biggest section. It takes the longest to inflate. I think I'll deflate the floor and show y'all real time what it takes to inflate the floor. So first, let's deflate it. Take the cap off, push this down. It's gonna be kind of loud. I turn it clockwise and it keeps the valve open. Just walking on it here just to get some of that air out. You don't want to step right here because underneath the floor there's that inflatable keel. So I'm going to go ahead and deflate it all the way with the pump. I have the hose attached to the deflate side. The pump comes with the correct connector. Just simply put it down in there, turn it clockwise till it locks in place, and then let's get to pumping. I don't know if you can tell if that's moving, but it is, and I'm doing this one-handed, and that's it. It's deflated. You can see how it's all shriveled up there. I'm going to attach my hose to the inflate side, and we're going to get to pumping. Now the floor can hold up to 10 psi. That's the biggest chamber on this boat, so it takes the longest to fill. So here's my advice to you guys. If you plan on deflating and inflating this boat a lot, buy the battery operated pump. The inflatable keel on the bottom only takes 1 pump. The side pontoons take probably half of what the floor does. So I think that's pretty much it. I'm sure I'm probably forgetting some things, but it's a really cool boat, guys. The things I like the most about it is it's so lightweight. It car tops really well. When you throw the kayak on top of a car, put your straps on, you tighten it down tight. Because it is an inflatable boat, it sticks to your roof racks really well, and the straps bite down into it, so there's no wobble or anything going down the freeway at 70 miles an hour. 2, for me, I can carry this thing on my motorcycle. When this thing's all bundled up, it's 36 inches by 15 by 20, which is pretty small, so I can put that on the back seat of my motorcycle. Now I know that's not a very common thing for people needing to carry a kayak on a motorcycle, but I think it's pretty neat that I have the option to. So if I can throw it on the back of a bike, I can definitely throw it in the trunk of a car. I can keep it in the closet in the house. I can pretty much store it anywhere I want. The pros of this kayak. Number 1 is it's portable. At 45 pounds, you can car top this kayak. Bring this kayak anywhere you want. I have a Hobie PA14 that's got everything in the kitchen sink on it. I tournament fish out of it, but when I want a quick trip out on the water, that's the boat I grab, the Sea Eagle 385 FTA. Just because it's quick and easy, and I can still carry a lot of stuff, up to 635 pounds to be exact. Second thing, for an inflatable kayak, it tracks great. It's fast, it doesn't yaw, and it is stable. It's stable enough that I can stand and fish in at 6'3", 250 pounds. Number 3, it's so versatile because I can lay in the bottom of it, I can sit in the back of it, I can sit in the front of it. It's very modular. I can move that seat around, I can carry 2 people. I've had kids flip the boat upside down and use it for a stand-up paddleboard. It's one of the most versatile boats I've ever used, to be honest. And not only does it paddle great, it is quiet. Number 4, whatever number I'm on, the build quality is amazing. I'm never out on the water thinking, am I gonna sink because I ran over a turtle? I don't have that issue. I don't have those thoughts in the back of my mind. I haven't had any issues with deflating. A lot of times if you pump up a boat and you get on colder water, it reduces the pressure inside the boat and you just don't feel like you have any stability. That has not been the case with this boat. That drop stitch flooring really does a great job of adding the support that you need through the whole boat, and it just feels great to fish out of. Number 5, there's a lot of accessories that go with it. There's a lot of different packages you can choose from depending on what you want to do with your boat, what type of water you're fishing. There's D-loop attachments throughout the boat, so you can put pretty much everything you need. There's bungees for paddles. You got everything you needed. That rigid front bow and stern really are just little added things that most inflatable kayaks don't have. Also the inflatable keel with the hard cones on both front and back. You can't beat it. They've really put a lot of thought into designing this boat. I would have to say the only con for this boat would be the price. Packages start at around $1,000 bucks, but considering what you get for that price, it's really not that bad of a deal. But I know a lot of you are thinking, man, that's a lot of money for an inflatable boat, but cliche as it is, you get what you pay for. This is not your normal inflatable boat. So many times I've been out on the water and people have looked at my kayak, and when I tell them it's inflatable, they had no idea, because it is solid, it looks solid, and it feels solid. So there you go, guys. That's my take on the 385 FTA Angler Series kayak from Sea Eagle. Sea Eagle's been around for 50 plus years making inflatable boats, so they know what they're doing. It wasn't a boat I would have came out and bought, but now that I've tried it, I don't see me ever getting rid of it. It's just too versatile of a boat. If you guys have any questions or comments or things I probably didn't cover, sorry I didn't take the time to actually set up the boat real time, show you it rolled up and deflated, but the weather sucks and I'm trying to get this video out quick. I will take y'all on the water with it and show y'all more things and how it fishes, me standing, hopefully me catching some big fish out of it. If y'all have questions, let me know in the comments below. And if you want to look at this boat yourself, you can check it out on my website at www.venturetube.net. I have several different links on the side. Just click on the pictures. It'll bring you to Sea Eagle's website. Yes, if you buy a boat, I do get paid for it. So I would appreciate your support by going through my website to do so. Obviously, an inflatable boat is not for everyone. I thought it wouldn't be for me personally, but it turns out I really love it, and it does have a place in my garage. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and get out there on the water. Come on.